back when I reviewed Mothra vs. Godzilla, I said at the beginning of that video that there was another film called Godzilla vs. Mothra, and that the two are not to be confused because they're actually very different movies, despite having very similar titles, and that one of them came out way later than the other. This is that movie, but instead of calling it Godzilla vs. Mothra, I'm going to call it by its alternative name, Godzilla and Mothra: The Battle for Earth, because even though it is a much longer, dumber title, it is easier to differentiate that way, so I think I'm going to stick to it. So this movie is very good. It's just another good, solid entry in the Godzilla series, whereas the previous film was sort of reintroducing Ghidorah to the lore of the Heisei Godzilla era. This movie sort of remakes the original Mothra and puts a new spin on it in a way that I really like. The actual plot is very straightforward and easy to explain. It's just that, Mothra is the guardian of Earth, protects balance, whatever. The Earth is out of balance, so Mothra is awoken, and Godzilla's blowing shit up. And this time Mothra has an evil counterpart named Batra, who's like a, different bug-type kaiju, like dark, evil type, whatever. And Batra and Mothra initially are in their larva states, and when they first encounter Godzilla, they're fighting on top of the water in the middle of the ocean. They blow up a couple of ships. Batra's got laser beams coming out of his head. He looks awesome. Kind of has like a little stag beetle thing. Sort of looks like a metapod. To cite another Pokemon, Mothra looks like a Weedle, and Batra looks like a metapod in the beginning of the movie. And they have a cool fight, and then they have another cool fight near the end of the movie when they've gone through their metamorphosis and they're in their winged forms, and basically Batra just goes a little bit overboard with the whole destroying stuff that he shouldn't be destroying, and Mothra, gives him a slap on the wrist, gets him, puts him in check, and then they both team up to get rid of Godzilla by picking up Godzilla and then flying him over and dropping him in the ocean. And it's great. We see the return of those two fairies that are like Mothra's underlings or whatever. They sing Mothra's theme song again in this new movie, and I love it. I love the theme song. It's another great reuse of music from the past. It's really good. I like it. Mothra's like my favorite kaiju. So I was really pleased to see, I really like Mothra's redesign in this film. She's really, she's a lot fluffier and more colorful and bright, pretty looking than before. And yeah, aside from that, I don't really know, there's not much else to say. Just, I don't know, these Heisei movies are just a lot easier to watch than the Showa ones. I could easily see this being the best era of Godzilla so far. And, yeah, it's just a good, entertaining movie. Oh, I completely forgot, there was something I really wanted to mention about the movie before this one, so I'm just going to say it now, because I don't want to go back and edit things, because I'm a terrible person. But in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, I mentioned how there was like a Godzillasaurus that appeared on an island during World War II. Well, later in the movie, after Godzilla was brought back as a bigger, more evil Godzilla, there was a Japanese man who was a war veteran. He recognized Godzilla as the Godzillasaurus that saved his life back on that island back in World War II. And he thinks that he has like a connection with Godzilla and tries to reach out to him and get him to calm down and stop blowing up the city. And Godzilla's response to that was to just blast him full on with atomic breath and just totally blew the dude to smithereens. And it was really cruel, and I really liked that scene a whole lot. Yeah, there's nothing really that I'm not passionate about in Godzilla and Mothra: Battle for Earth, however. I just kind of liked it, It was just an entertaining, good movie. And it's really well paced and has plenty of action, and and it's entertaining enough. And outside of that, I don't really have much to say about it, so I guess I'll just move on.